Hello, Muhammad. Juanpa. Wookie Wookie. Aha, good. Wookie Wookie says, just doing my work. Muhammad says, the guru and the father. Where is the father? Who is the guru? Wookie Wookie says, wish you all the best. Thank you. And the same for you, Wookie. So I presume Wookie is your first name and then Wookie is your last name. So instead of saying Wookie Wookie, I just say Wookie. Call you by your first name. Is that okay? Juanpa says, male 23, Costa Rica. Reese, you haven't been here for a while. Hello to you as well. Muhammad sends love and says, admire you, sir. Well, thank you, Muhammad. It's very kind of you, dear. Lovely to be here among you guys. Zoltan says, Mehran, yes. Where's the rest of it? Zoltan, you just called me, but there's no question. And MRA says, hello, it is Mrs. Actually Melissa. You mean MRA supposed to be MRS? And is Melissa. Melissa, is this your first time here? If anyone's joining us for the first time, please remember, you're welcome. We'd love to have you here. And we have a protocol that helps me put a little bit of information behind the words. And that is if you're female or male or whatever your gender is, and how old you are and where you're tuning in from. So F for female, then the number for how old you are, and the place where you are tuning in from. These three little codes will help me to know a little bit more about you. So when I want to deliver my response to your questions, it would be a little bit more tailor-made, depending on what I can figure out from that information, such as your culture, maybe your background or your age. It will help me to kind of modify it properly. I'd appreciate it. So we have here Muhammad says, I was just listening to the rest of yesterday's stream. Ah, good. Wookie, going by the first name, says my name is Luke, but a big Star Wars fan. Ah, Luke. Ah. So do not underestimate the power of the dark side, Luke. Michael says, greetings from the country of the best beer in the world. What is that, Germany? And he's going to be mad. He's going to say, no, Czech. But it is Germany, Michael. Admit it. Ross says, hello, Mehran. Male 30 UK. Thank you. That's exactly what I mean. M30 UK. Three little info. Reese says, I've been on holiday to Ireland. Good to see you again. Ah, Ireland. What a place to be. Ireland. A beautiful place. And there was a movie I watched, which I really liked, called Leap Year. Leap Year. That takes place in Ireland. And it's very nice, very good, entertaining, good story, pleasant. It's good, good. Now, Melissa says it is. Yeah, okay, good. And Ross says, I admire your dedication, Mehran, on what looks like a sunny day in Vancouver. It's bright, it's not sunny, it's actually cold. And it's been wet for the past few days. But it is bright, that's for sure. And Melissa says, yes, it is. F49 Philadelphia. Ah, Philadelphia Experiment. It was a movie I saw many years ago. It was an interesting movie about that ship that disappeared. And Philadelphia Experiment, that was called. Muhammad says, M Super Alpha 29 from the Arab Association. How are you, sir? Thank you, Muhammad. Good to see you here. I mean, good to read you here. I mean, you guys can see me. I wish this was like two-way type of a connection, that I could hear your voices, your questions, your words, rather than having to read and all that. And it would be much easier. I wonder if I can have that on my site. By the way, the site is almost finished, guys. I should have it. I should have it any day. If only my programmer would give me a little bit more importance to our project. Every time it takes a week before the changes are made that we discuss, maybe during the week. Anyhow, let's be patient. Let's see this thing through. And Muhammad says, what a bless we are in to have such great advice and mentorship. Greetings and blessings. Thank you very much, Muhammad. If you were my promotional manager, I would have probably had speaking engagements all around the world by now. But as you all know, we are unknown, living incognito. Wookie expresses his joy. I'm like a sportscaster, narrator, explaining the actions, minute by minute actions. And now the ball is in Ross's court. Ross kicks the ball, trying to say, just working on my final year dissertation. Pacemaker implant complications while listening to the love chat. Love chat, that's a good name for it. Michael says, no, check. You see, I said so. I told you guys. Mike is gonna go nuts about the beer and is gonna say, no, it's not Germany, it's Czech. Well, I would have believed it if it was cash, but if it's Czech, forget it. Who knows if it will be clear in the bank or not. Mike. All right. And Melissa says, very broken-hearted after breakup. I have been watching your old videos that I happened to accidentally find. Yeah, that's the story of our channel. We are found accidentally. And for the life of me, I don't know why. I mean, we're not. We've got over 1,500 videos on this channel and counting every day, as we have uploads every day. And I have responded to thousands, and I really mean that, of comments and email. Every comment, pretty much every comment, unless I just miss it somehow, coming about the videos on the YouTube has been responded. And of course, all of them by me. And I've talked to hundreds of people around the world on Skype consultations that we have, which you can make an appointment going to my site, mind@seekstruth.com, and click on Talk to Me for consultations, and we'll discuss and explore together what's concerning you about your breakup and how you're feeling and so on further. With all that, and we have live talks. This is what, number 311 since 2016. We've been having live talks, and some of the live talks, as you know, takes like 3, 4, 5 hours. The longest one we had was 5 hours and 1 minute, I think. So yes, it does show dedication and the love for helping people around the world and enjoying a little smoother ride on this journey of life. All of us together will learn from each other. But yet, with all that effort, Our channel is invisible. We should have had with what I hear from all of you guys, we deserve to have 1 million subscribers by now. But how can they join us if they don't see us, if they don't find us? And here Melissa just told us the same that everybody else said. We were found accidentally. In other words, you got to go through the pages before you actually see one of our thumbnails. Let's hope we can change that by you guys being kind enough to share the videos on your social media whenever you like a video, and click on like every time you watch something. And don't click on not like if you don't like it. Just say, oh, I didn't like it. And I don't know, find a way to put us on the map. So that would be a great help. So we'll be recognized and we can reach more people, help more people around the world. Now, having said all that, Melissa says, oh, yeah, we did read Melissa's. Juanpa says, Mehran, today I'm watching you from Yaco Beach here in Costa Rica. It is almost 30 degrees centigrade and it's hot as hell. Oh, wow, nice. Enjoy it. Just relax and do a meditation. It might be too hot, but maybe you won't notice the hot heat. And BMW Tony. Ah, yeah, you are remembered, Mr. Super Chat. It's an anomaly when we receive a super chat on the channel. I have seen when others have programs, super chats are falling through. But somehow we have this, I guess, a perception that this channel is wealthy and not need any money. Oh, that's a misconception. So, like everybody else, we could use some publicity and, of course, the attention, so we can do all the things. Now, I would hope that we would be in a position in a few years that we will have enough funds to go around the world here and there and put up workshops and help people to understand what really makes them tick and why is it they react in the way they're doing. The role of their consciousness and thoughts, fear, desire, ego, mechanical process, order, material process, all of that, the role they play in their way of negotiating their daily life. Unless we know about the effects and the role these things play in our psyche, we can't really know who we are and why is it that we feel and act and react the way we do. Most people don't even think that they're anything more than a physical entity. They're unaware of all the other forces and variables that guides them or affect them or influences them through their life, daily life, and the way they are negotiating life. So this is what we are hoping to do, and hopefully we are achieving some of it in the way of connecting all that and sharing that information through addressing the emotional problems you have after breakup. And as you know, this channel is not a dating channel. It's not about making your relationships work, while that is something that we always discuss privately on Skype with my clients. But it is mostly trying to help you how to move out of this rot that you're sitting and wallowing and thinking the world has come to an end, and we want to understand why. We don't want to just tell you, oh, there, you'll be okay. That's nonsense. We want to understand why is it and how you can really look at life the way it's meant to be looked at, not the way that you're conditioned to think about it and look at it based on your cultures and dogmas and religions and nationalities and whatever it is that you've come to be exposed to through your life and the conditionings you've received. So, having said all that, good news is we've received a super chat. Isn't that wonderful? We are rich, guys. Finally. Thank you very much. And let's see who that is. I don't know how to work this thing. That's Wayne Harmon. Wayne, thank you very much for the super chat. That's very generous of you. And let's see, do you have a question, Wayne? Or is it just simply there? I have to learn how to work this thing. I don't see a question with it, Wayne. But as soon as I see it. Wayne, you have been here once. I think I might have seen your name, but not necessarily. My goodness, Wayne, what did you start? A trend? It's unheard of. We have not seen a dime on this channel, but we're seeing quite a bit of it today. Wow, aren't we lucky? And that is Melissa. Melissa says just want to be loved and happy, and not hurt and used, and feel like I have been thrown away. Aha. Well, that is simply, Melissa, because you have been waiting around for others to show you what your worth and value is by their attention and affection, or how they treat you, and the love that you seemingly should be generated and stem from the outside of you. You must focus that your worth and value is set by you. The love that you're seeking must be from you first. You must learn to love yourself first. Your connection with the nature, your connection with your life, your existence, why you're here, what are you doing, what are you accomplishing, what are your merits, what are your standards, what are you looking for, how you treat yourself. If you go to a restaurant and sit on a dirtiest table, or if they guide you to sit you somewhere close to the bathroom and you don't say anything, naturally that's the kind of service that you will be receiving. But if you just simply say, well, thank you, but I would prefer that at the table because this is too close to the kitchen, or too close to the bathroom, or the chairs are not really that clean, or the tablecloth is not set properly, you will set a certain precedent for that waiter and that establishment to know this person expects a different level of service. If you do not love yourself first, appreciate yourself, give yourself the value that you deserve, the others will not follow. You are the leader of how others will treat you, and you must be clear on that. Who are the others? Others are looking for others to approve of them, affirm them, treat them nice, and so on and so forth. But they are not know-it-all and the wise of the world to know what you expect and how to treat you. Perhaps they don't have the enough class or training or manners to know what it is right or wrong. And sometimes you need to guide them through. So first, let's love yourself by affirming yourself through your own behavior, your own treatment of you, about you, to you. On the way you take care of yourself, the fitness that you're focused on, the way you put your clothes on, and the way you choose to treat yourself. Let's say sometimes when we're all at home alone, we may actually, I don't know, take something from the fridge and just take a bite or two right there at the fridge and not bother to come and sit on the table. But often it is necessary for you to set the table properly, put a nice plate and the fancy utensils, and put your cup of tea properly, bring your food there, warm it properly, sit there and treat yourself as if you're in a restaurant, and create that aura about yourself that you expect this to be in this way. That will exude, that will extend outwardly when you're out there, when you've conditioned that kind of a treatment that is expected by you without you even say anything, just the way you carry yourself, because that's how you've been treating yourself at home. When you do that, people won't dare to treat you, as if you put it, as if you're thrown away. And you will not have the need for others to affirm you so much and think that your worth and value is set and comes from the outside of you. You're the boss. You're the center of your life. You're the most important person in this world. And you must treat yourself that way. Instead of waiting, I'm the most important person, but I'm waiting for the other guy, the other person, who he is the most important person to his own life to treat me better than he would treat himself. That won't happen. You must learn to treat yourself the best possible way you can. Melissa. I hope that would be something a little bit helpful to you. And of course, appreciate the generosity of you guys. Oh my goodness, I can't help this now. There's another one. This is unheard of. BMW Tony says, you helped me through some very dark times, and I hope you continue on your path of making other lives better, Mehran. I am really thankful for your work and will support you as much as possible. Well, I'm delighted and thankful, and my gratitude, Tony. We certainly could use the help and recognition if we have enough subscribers, if we have enough exposures and the algorithm of YouTube picks us up properly. We will have enough subscribers due to our content that helps everybody around the world, and it has done for the past 6 years. And then you guys wouldn't have to really be bothered to support and go out of your way as you have today to help us out, to help the channel to have a little bit more ease for advertisements and things that we want to do to reach more people. So the key is we gotta reach that 1 million subscribers, and perhaps going to take us a few years, but we gotta find a way to be recognized. And I'm doing everything we can. Olga is making amazing thumbnails from Russia, and she sends it over periodically to the new videos that I produce. And of course the new site is coming on, hopefully by a week or so, maybe before I depart from Canada to where I'm going for about a month, and I'll be making videos and live talks from there for you. And perhaps the site and I just hired someone to do our social media stuff for Instagram and advertise on Facebook and all that. And I hope the collective efforts that we're making, plus you guys liking the videos, sharing the videos in your social medias, and if you're kind of shy to share the breakup videos, well then go on the playlist I have called the Psyche and share the ones that you like, which has nothing to do with breakups or relationship. It has all to do with mind, thoughts, fear, desire, ego, pleasure, order, and all these things that we, there is the center and is the basis of what we're here to share. And then in that way, we'll be able to be a little bit more recognized. So again, thank you very much, Tony. Thank you very much, Wayne. And thank you very much, Melissa. I'm just beside myself. Now, as you all know, the videos will be uploaded automatically, and the segments of it will be turned into individual videos that I will upload every day as a one question, one answer. So that will be easier to locate when you're searching on the channel for certain topics. And as you know, if you go on the channel and just in the search engine of the channel, just type in how you feel, a word of some kind that represents how you feel, what you're thinking is, you're bound to get some videos. We've got over 1,500 and counting videos on this channel. It's almost anything you think after breakup, there's a video about it. Now, the idea is how to promote the channel. So I hope that you guys will be just as helpful as you've always been. Now, Tony says, greetings from Germany. Guten Tag. Mehran. 24 mail from Germany here. What would you tell your younger self in 20s if you had the chance? It was asked once before, and I think I did give a good answer, but I don't remember what the heck I said. So maybe this will be a different one. Well, it should be, as our consciousness constantly dynamically is changing, so I cannot be actually responding to the same thing in the same way at two different time and space. So naturally, today, maybe my consciousness will be bouncing that question back in a different way. So I react to it the way I would naturally do, which is, what would I say to myself when I was in my 20s? Probably something that I did follow anyways, but I would say, live life in a way that you would enjoy it two times. Once, when you actually do what it is that you're doing, the decision that you make, the action that you make, should be thought through and should be a good one. So live it in a way that when you do whatever you do, you enjoy it. It's a good decision. And once when you look back at what you did, when you did it, and if it was good, you will enjoy it for the second time when you think about it. Now, that's a bit heavy and needs lots of wisdom at the age of 20, which none of us had or have. We are as wise according to our experiences at a certain given age. But if I were to tell myself something at that age, this is what I would say. Think deep and judge well. So you will enjoy life two times. Once, when you actually do what you do. Second, when you actually think about what you did when you did it. All right. Let's now go to Melissa. Melissa said, I believe you asked if I could speak about a message I sent you. Did you now? The older one becomes, I feel it so much harder to go on. The older one becomes, I feel it so much harder to go on after a broken heart. I give it all. Can't do it anymore. I gave it all. Aha, yes, I understand. Would love to actually watch them all. Do you mean you actually love to watch all the videos, or you actually love to watch whatever it is that you gave in your life? Well, you know, think about climbing a mountain without ropes or walking through the mountain, going up the cliffs with your fingers holding on and like a cat trying to go on. You're hanging on something, aren't you? When you're hanging on something, counting on something else to give you stability, to hold your weight, pull you up, that becomes harder when you become a little older, because physically, we're talking physically only right now, because physically I wouldn't be as agile and strong as when I was much younger to hold my weight and pull myself up the rocks using my fingers, which I'm holding on, hanging on the rocks, the edges of the rocks. So that way, if I'm holding on something else is holding my weight, it becomes harder the more I do it. Now we can translate that, the more I do it could be at any age, or the more I do it could translate into when I get older. Same thing with your life and your relationships. If you're hanging on the love to receive from somebody else, the security that you could rely on from somebody else, the attention that you need to receive to feel good about yourself from somebody else, you're hanging on something. You're trusting your weight to be held and you be lifted up, pulled up by somebody else, something else. You're no longer in control because you've left it all on there. You're relying on them. You're relying on the rock. You're relying on that person to give you the attention, the love, and the security, and so on and so forth. But if you were to walk up the mountain, not hang on and pull yourself up, your weight would be on your feet. Not dependent on what it is that you're hanging on to hope that it will hold on. Then you walk on your feet. Your weight is on you. You are responsible. You're in command. You're the boss. You will take any direction and you will not need anybody to hold you up, for you will be the one who will hold you up. At any age, it is easier to stand than be pulled up, or rely on something to come along or somebody to pull us up. So all those attentions, all those love, and all those validity and all those affirmation that you seek, it should come from you. If it's received from somebody else, that's gravy. That's bonus point. That's for fun. That's all right. I accept it. But do not think that you should hang around and rely on others to do and give you what you deserve, because they are mostly focused on and doing what they're doing because it is good for them. They're doing it for themselves. Nobody is doing anything for you or for me. Everybody is doing what they're doing for themselves. Do you think if you're in a relationship, the person is coming to your relationship to make you happy? No, he or she comes to your relationship to make him happy. But our mistake is that we think, oh, she's here to make me happy. That's the project of her life. That's the goal of her. No. She might be doing wonderful things for me out of compassion, love, and care. But that is ultimately is satisfying her wishes. This is what she has chosen to do for certain reasons or purposes that would satisfy her, make her happy, or gives her what it is that she hopes to receive in response. Not necessarily as a business transaction of, I do this for you, you do that for me, but in turn, she's doing that for who? For herself. But in the meantime, I'm receiving the benefits of the love and care from it as well. So let us be clear about it. When you're in a relationship, the other side is not thinking that the purpose of being in that relationship is the same as what you're thinking that his purpose is. You think that he or she has a purpose of being there to make you happy. No. Are you there to make them happy? Maybe you think, but in reality, you're doing whatever you're doing to make you happy. So are they. And if that's clear for you, you will not count on them so much to think that they are the place where everything rests and everything that you treasure is housed. You will expect them to be a person in relationship with you, but not responsible for your happiness and your stability of life and everything else that you expect in this life. You will be the driver on that. You will be the boss of that. You will command that. You will control that. You will direct that. You will navigate that. You will steer that. In that way, then, it doesn't matter what surprises comes up in the relationship and they leave you or they go this and way, you will not feel abandoned, thrown away, this and that, so forth, because you never thought that the reason you are where you are is because of them. It was all about you while you were sharing a life. Do not make your relationships to become your life. You have a life, and certain responsibilities and duties toward that life to make that to be fulfilled through your accomplishments and research and learning and so on. And then you're sharing that life in context of a relationship with someone else at a certain level, rather than thinking the relationship is my life. Because how can you direct somebody else's consciousness based on what it is that you want to achieve in this life? They have their own goals. So while they're in a relationship, but it's never for sure forever, because people are their consciousness. And consciousness dynamically every day changes based on the experiences and the exposures you receive and the things that you learn and how you react to them based on your conditionings from the past. And therefore all these changes are happening in your consciousness every day, and it could be a day that your consciousness no longer responds to you the way, their consciousness no longer responds to you the way they did when you guys met and went through that relationship. So those changes should not be an anomaly or unexpected. When you think it's all set in stone, then you're hit with unexpected stuff. And when that happens, you're shocked because you never thought about it might happen. It's a surprise that affects you differently than if you thought, well, I'm doing my best, they're doing their best, we'll see how long it lasts, and I'm still taking care of myself in every way I can, so I'm not dependent solely on every aspect of my life on their way of dealing with me or reacting or paying attention to me. Therefore, I am independent while I'm in a relationship. Perhaps that's something that could be helpful to you all, or us all. Melissa says, thank you. I truly hope you are right. Oh, I see. You're talking to Muhammad. I'm sorry. I thought that was a respond to my... No, and thank you for putting that M-A in the back of it. Yes, Muhammad is right, actually. Melissa says, don't know how to do that. Sounds stupid, I know, but just don't know how to release from this pain. Yeah, I guess we just discussed that one. I'm reading it after my discussion, I guess. Muhammad says, Mehran, although the number of females is higher than males, we still feel their scarcity. They're like hidden gem. Although there are lots of jewelry, rocks, gems in the world, they're still scarce, aren't they? It's hard to find them because they're hidden in a way. And because it's not about the number of female that are out there, it's about the number of compatible consciousnesses. That needs to be excavated, that needs to be researched. So you can't just see a woman and say, well, there's so many women there, why can't I? Because you're not looking for just the physical appearance of the woman, you're looking for that also the bonding on the consciousness level, which when you even meet many of them that you say there's so many, you come out empty-handed because you didn't hit it off together. So it's the number of compatible consciousnesses that you should be focusing on rather than number of females out there. Yeah, there are lots of females. Yes, if you were just your level of interest in the relationship was sexual, well, yeah, you're a heterosexual male and you're programmed in your gene for procreation, and you would be pursuing that instinctively and not necessarily on any other kind of echelon of standards, and there would be no problem. They're female and you're both adults and consenting, and that's the way of the history of the world, and you will find a female and you will be with a female. But relationships are not just about sexual activities. Therefore, you expect a lot more. That's why your process selection is more complicated than just the fact that you're a heterosexual male and she's a heterosexual female and you're attracted to each other and you want to be intimate. That's when you say, well, there's so many females. But you're not necessarily focusing on that to be the cornerstone of your relationship. You want a lot more. Both of you are looking for compatibility, what you've been exposed to, the share of thoughts and opinions and values and cultural similarities and nationalities, religion, and all these other nonsense that is binding us, limiting us from binding on consciousness level, bonding on consciousness level. So, having said that, let's move on to next part of his question. And says also, though males are less, females never feel our scarcity as always. Well, it's like saying wheat is scarce and therefore bread on bakeries are scarce, but people are not scarce because they all need the bread. They're lining up. Even if there's one bread, they're lining up because they all want the bread. The same thing with men. Men, you say, although males are less, but females are never feel the scarcity because the bread never feels the scarcity of the people who want it. Even though there are not that many people populating that city, but still all of them will line up for that couple of bread, yeah, because it's in demand. So regardless of men are not being that many and less than females, but they're all interested in finding the female. They're lining up. So female never feel the scarcity of the man, but they do feel the scarcity of the right man. What they can have compatibility on the consciousness level. And that's what we should be focusing on. It's not about the number of male or female. It's about what number of them they actually get the chance to meet because they want to meet in order to measure each other up on consciousness level, because that is where the relationship takes place, not on the physical level. And that's why there needs to be a time to talk, to discuss, to see each other's reactions and interactions with the world, with outside. That's why you guys go on a date. You guys think that you go on a date just to eventually have a chance to go home together at night? The purpose of that dating is supposed to find out about each other, how you feel, the energy exchange, the compatibility, the moralities, the ideas, the consciousness level. That's what you're trying to find out, because that's where the relationships are taking place between the two consciousnesses, which most of the time we all miss it, that even though we have the opportunity to size each other up on consciousness level and see if we are compatible or not, we miss it and we end up having a relationship between the image we have of ourselves in our own mind and the image we have created of the other person in our own mind, and the other person has the image of herself in her own mind, and the image of you is created in her mind, about you in her mind, and these two images are having a relationship. Not you. Many people get into a relationship without knowing each other, but having a relationship and chosen to have a relationship with each other's image. And they break up also because their image has been attacked or the image has been tarnished, and they find their image more important than themselves, and they're constantly in their life trying to protect their image, which doesn't even exist. So they're trying to protect something that doesn't exist, and they're having a relationship between their images, which they're all illusory and non-existence. Yet they break up because of it, without even having known each other at all through this whole relationship. Yet they're missing each other. What are you missing? You didn't even know the guy, and you didn't even know the girl. Why? Because you've been too busy protecting your image and having a relationship between your image and her image. And she was doing the same thing. So the images were having a relationship without having a soul or understanding of each other, just trying to protect something that they thought is more important than themselves, and they thought they are actually represented by their image. And they were oblivious to it. They thought their image is them. And when it came to tough times, they couldn't deal with it because the image don't have a soul. The image don't have an understanding of each other. A little bit heavy, I know, but that's the way it is. We've talked about these in many different videos, and I hope that it will be something to ponder for you to understand that you are going through life, interacting with life through your images. As we talked about it before, you go to a store, you want to buy something, you have an image of a shopper. If you're working at the store, you have an image of a clerk. You're on a bus, you have the image of a passenger. You drive the bus, you have the image of the bus driver. You're in the school, image of a student. You teach a class, your image of a professor or a teacher. You're at your mom's and dad's, your image of a son or daughter. You're with your children, you have an image of a father or mother. So, and every moment during the day, you use this image for what it is that you're about to do, and you abandon it, go to the next image because it is something else that you need to do, and that needs a different image. And when it comes to your relationships, you're dealing with that person according to the image you have created of yourselves that you prefer, and the image you've created of that girl or that person, and these two images are having a relationship. But now you've been oblivious to really who you are, how you really feel about it, mostly important, how your image feels about this relationship. How does it make the society see you as the image you have? How do you look in the eyes of the society and the others? And all that imagery that you've been conditioned to think it's representing you is what you're trying to please and not you. And for that very same thing, you break up. Now, having said that, we move on to Muhammad says why heterosexual females are much in control than males. Because their whole motivation is not solely sexual. Men, heterosexual male, are programmed in their genes to look for female for procreation. So everything about it for them, to begin with, the instinct of pursuing a female is sex. But women are looking for certainty, usefulness, respect. Evidence of their survival is about security, certainty, provisions, protection. Historically, now today they don't need the protection. They can protect themselves, and there's laws and so on and so forth. But traditionally and historically, that's what it is. They're more sophisticated than us. They look for different values. So they're more in control than the males are. Instinctively, we see a female, we're lost, especially if she meets the aesthetic standards that you expect. Each person expects differently. And she meets that, and your hormones come into the picture, you're turned on and you're switched on, and you're just like a hound dog after rabbit. You can't see or think really clear about who she is rather than what she is. You're programmed to follow the female, not who that female has become, who she is in her mind. You don't see that because You're instinctive. Your motivations and your program is instinctive. But she is not. She's different. She, of course, appreciates and makes a right selection for herself as a mate. But the bigger value in her decision-making process is certainty, provision, usefulness, like how protective she can be, how she's protected, provided for, comfort, and she knows where to lean if she needs to. Again, all these are different process of selection for each one. And he says, although I believe on the equality of human mind capabilities, why females themselves enough while male is always in a need, although both are hetero? Yeah, well, as I said, because male are designed for procreation, and just recently they have learned that they should curtail that desire for intimacy, and they should be just with one woman all their life. This is a new thing past few hundred years. It's never been like that. We were like animals, okay? You're programmed like any other animal. You see a female and you feel like procreation. That's what your genes are. But then now we've become civilized, so to speak. We've learned to be exclusive and so on, which is pretty much against the nature of a program that we have. But we're learning to adapt to it and to observe what makes a relationship work or not in this day and age. You can't have multiple partners while you're in a committed relationship. But that self is against the nature of it, which is something that men have tried to learn and been often frowned upon for not observing that, which is, of course, needs discipline and understanding, and that takes a bit of a time to recognize that. I'm thinking maybe in the future, I don't know how many 100 years from now, they will revert back to go to the, maybe the understanding will shift in such a way that everybody would be acceptance of having, I don't know, different kind of number of interactions. Just a thought. I'm not condoning it at all, but I'm saying this could be some of the challenges that we as human beings could be facing, because we are always going against the nature and trying to bring the control and mentality and civilized way of thinking according to what is expected by the community and society and that we have created, civility that we have created, and that often could be against the way we are programmed. Remains to be seen. Michael says, will you ever visit Prague? I love to. I remember my father always wanted to visit Prague, and of course he passed 6 years ago, was it? No, 8 years ago. Wow. But he did go to Prague, and he enjoyed seeing the beauty of that city. And Michael says, the city of 100 spires, it's lovely. Yes, I understand. It is very beautiful. But, you know, listen, Michael, and anybody else, I'm more than happy to visit where you guys are. But if you make an effort and create a meeting of sort and do what it takes to do, it takes lots of doing. I don't know, invite people, sell tickets, so we will have enough finances to invite me over, and, you know, we have enough finances to pay for the flights and accommodation and all that. I'd be willing to dedicate the time and make the effort and to do visit those countries, people who arrange such speaking engagements, and I'll come and we put a workshop and we enjoy and explore and share. But that's for sure. But as far as having a plan to do that, no, it's been quite a while. I've been busy at home, and for the first time in a long time, I'm just, as you know, going to go away for a few weeks. Melissa says, thank you. You're quite welcome, dear. Melissa says, your videos. Okay. Good. You guys can always find what you're looking for among the 1,500 videos that we have on the channel. But again, if you feel it's something that you want to explore with me one-on-one, privately, on Skype, well, that's what I do all around the week with people around the world who need it. They go on my site, click on Talk to Me for consultation, and the new site will write it as, the title will be Talk to Mehran on Skype. And then you click on that and it will give you the choices, and then you make the booking, and it'll come to me. I'll confirm it on Skype with you or through your email, and then we'll chat on the time that works for both of us. And now let's go to Jack. Jack says, hi, it's Jack. Hello, Jack. How is the army? How is the training? And Jack says, male 23, England, currently in basic training in the British Army. Aha. Only been a week in and I feel like a different person already. Yes, you do. You feel strong, proud, and protected, lots of friends, and you belong somewhere. That's the feeling you get, right? I feel more focused and disciplined as a person. There we go. Yeah, that does it. That's what it does. I remember my service still, and that was some experience. Of course, many people didn't like it, but I guess I was just the type, having had the martial art background and that rigid discipline and the old samurai style of thinking. So military was fitting me perfectly. But I know my friends, we had lots of fun too, just goofing around as well, because they just weren't into it. Many of them. All right. David says, male 32 UK. Would you ever advise someone to take time off from dating? It's not a job that you're supposed to take time off. You see an opportunity that it's appropriate and provides a good, a seating in conversation, and you guys hit it off and you want to further it and exchange numbers and plan on going on a date, maybe an activity, a sports activity, or a dinner or lunch or walk. You know, it's not like a job that you're supposed to, okay, I want to take a break now. I put a pin here. I am on a break. No dating. No, you know, it's like what we just talked about. Dating is not that available all the time to men. So if it's the right one and it's the opportunity arises, take it. But what you need to do is not necessarily plan on turning that date into intimacy. Then you take the pressure off of yourself and expectations off of yourself, and the quality of the date will go higher because you're just there to interact with another human being. A beautiful female, obviously she's beautiful, all female are beautiful, but each person has different standards, and to you must have been, you know, meeting your standards. That's why you're on date with her. So enjoy the interaction, enjoy sharing life and her stories and your stories. Two human beings just living a moment rather than always something behind. Okay, now what do I do? Can I hold her hand? Oh, okay. Should I say this for her to laugh, to like me, so I can eventually, maybe, just move it. Just stop that. Just enjoy the date. Whatever comes, comes. You guys like each other, will. Or if you don't like each other romantically, you may like each other spending time and you just had a great time, which gives you the energy flow that you couldn't have gotten it if you were hanging out with your male friends, or if you were hanging on at, I don't know, in a theater or playing tennis or whatever. So it's not about taking time off from dating, it's taking time off from your fully focus, 100% focus on date means intimacy. It doesn't have to. And it becomes a lot more amazing. Yeah? And David says, and he says, I spend a lot of time on dating sites trying to find a connection with someone. I feel it takes up a lot of focus. But lots of focus, lots of time, take up lots of my focus, okay. But it never really worked out, and ultimately I end up feeling worse. Yeah, well, you know, because your intention to go on a date is messed up. You think there should be a destination in date. Date is a journey. It's not a destination. It's not supposed to come to a destination. If it did, it could be any destination. A good night kiss, no kiss, have a nice evening, I had fun. It's about creating a certain energy that otherwise you could not have created that night. That's it. Now whatever else is bonus, or you guys will decide. So, and we just, amazingly enough, received another. Did we? Yeah, we received another super chat. I'm amazed. What's happening today? We are getting on board. And Wayne says, male 46, and where you located, Wayne? Is it UK? It must be, because it's Euro. So says, do you think mind visualization works in bringing good things into our lives, like new girlfriend, financial prosperity, etc.? Well, mind visualization without action means nothing. Thinking is wonderful, and what it does, if you're thinking the way that you said you are, positively, visualization of something wonderful and all that, will create a certain motivation because you've seen it. Now you want to follow the pictorial that you've created in your mind in order to bring it to reality, give it birth. That motivation works, and it's good because you've been conditioning yourself every night, every now and then, to visualize that goal. And that goal is in forefront of your head and your attention, and you're focusing more on it because it's more into your mind, and it directs you to pay attention to me, to take steps towards this, and reminds you of it because you've been creating that visualization in there. And the collective reminding and creating more and more continuous actions toward that is what gets you that goal that you have set and visualized about. Not just the fact that you visualized it. There has to be an action added to thoughts before a thought becomes tangible, becomes into a reality, actuality. Otherwise, it will remain as what it was, regardless of how much you sit down and think about it. I can sit down and meditate all day long, but yet I would still be hungry, and I'll still gotta get up and go make something and eat it, the rule of the body. And I can be eating all day long, still be not so strong in mind, not able to visualize things, and not be calm in my mind, because mind has its own rule and it needs its own attention and focus and exercises. So therefore, you can't be going to the gym and think that, oh, I've been going to the gym for years, so therefore I must be really wise now. No, that's going to make your body fit. And you can't be thinking and doing math or meditating all day long, say, oh, I must be really fit now. Well, each have their own rules. Same thing, you visualize what you want to accomplish in life. That gives you the motivation, and brings you the memory and reminds you of what it is that you want to accomplish. Therefore, you will give it priority, take actions, and those actions will get you closer to realization of that visualization, which is your goal. That's how it works. Otherwise, you sit down and visualize as much as you want. Nothing's going to happen. You got to put action to visualization. So then that gives it what it is. In other words, you want to find a new girlfriend. The fact that you have that intention will put you at your best foot forward, extend good energy. You will do things that makes you more desirable as far as, well, you want a girlfriend, therefore what comes to your mind? Well, I got to go to the gym, be fit. I got to eat right. I shouldn't be eating junk. I should also make sure that I have a good job and make money. And these are the things. But in fact, you just want to have the girlfriend. But you know what what things would attract a girl. You take good care of yourself. You eat right. You educate yourself or research, or do your job right. All that is a collection. So naturally, it shapes you. That desire will translate itself to you what you need to do for that visualization, that desire. So then you will take steps toward doing the stuff that is necessary to be more attractive to women. And then you will have a better chance to actually find a girlfriend, because the things that you've been doing will represent you a little bit better, in a better light. And when you meet a qualified candidate, she will pay a little bit more attention to you. There will be more chance, and eventually you will have a girlfriend. That's how it is. The same thing with financial. You keep visualizing it, therefore you'll have the propensity toward finding what makes that work. Oh, I got to take this course. I got to pay attention to this. I got to read that article. Oh, I got to make that effort there. I got to make that investment there. Oh, maybe not that. So you will be into the current flow of things toward that particular destination, which is the visualization of financial prosperity and all that. So thought by themselves, no. Thought plus preparation and action and execution of whatever it is that you are directing yourself towards, moving towards, will definitely work. And that visualization is the basis of it all. It's like the seed that you're planting. Yeah, you got to plant the seed in order to get the plant. If you don't plant it, if you don't visualize it, if you don't think about it, if you don't plan for it, of course, it won't happen. So yes, in that sense, visualization does work, because of these reasons that I mentioned, not because I'm visualizing. Okay, fine. And thank you again for the €5. I appreciate that. We seems to have lot more from UK. It looks like our channel is a little bit more known in Europe than it is in Canada. I don't know why. And Helen Olskaya says, hello, Mehran. I missed this meeting with you already. Well, you're here. I'm glad you made it. Did we not meet yesterday? Yes, we did. But, over the weekends, I have several live talks. I plan on, which I didn't really do it this week, I plan on having a Friday noontime, Vancouver time, Pacific West Coast time, live talk. Then Friday about 10 or 12 midnight or 10 p.m. another one to reach Australia, New Zealand, and Hong Kong, and Singapore, and Philippines, and all that, and India. And then Saturday 12 again, and then Saturday night again, and then Sunday noon again, and then it's off for the week. And then you'll have my uploads during the week. So that's why. And you know what? If it's too much for you, Helen dear, you can dump us. But I hope you won't. We need every one of you to be more recognized by the YouTube algorithm. So don't forget. By the way, guys, there's 16 of us here. I better see 16 likes, for heaven's sake. So don't forget, before you forget, click on like, and I appreciate that. Good to see you, Helen. Thank you for joining us. Christina says, hi, Mehran. Hello, Christina. Female, F25 from New York. And hello, Big Apple. Why do we give an image to our partners? Why can't we connect with each other without an image? Because you are not presenting yourself as who you are. You are actually focusing on you as an image. Therefore, you have created from what you've seen from your partner in relation to how society will look at you when you're in a relationship with this kind of a person, rather than simply with no images interacting. That's just the way you've been conditioned. You've always been conditioned, all of us, that we are not enough. We got to be more. We are this. We got to be this. And from here to here, there's lots of things that we desire. And all those desires, we got to do things about them. And we become competitive. And we become this and that. And we create images in order to fit that race, that competitiveness, and to win over it, to become that, because we are this. And we are conditioned all our life that we are not enough when we are this. We're always supposed to be that. What is that? Whatever it is, when you're that, you're still not enough because you're this. And then you got to be that again. That whole business makes you not to have a chance to know yourself, and be happy with what it is yourself. So you create images because you're taught to be more. How can I be more? Well, I got to create an image. Well, just like, you want to go on a real date and your car is in a certain way, you go and rent a car and you sit in a nicer car and you go on a date. Well, bloody take your own car. Take a bus if you have to. Or you borrow your friend's car. I'm on a date. Oh, yeah. Well, I understand that. I understand the merit of it. Yeah, once in a while it's good. I understand you want to impress the girl. But it's just an example. There are many other things that because you've been proven or conditioned that you're not good enough, you're not enough, you got to be more. And that more doesn't come like this, so you create an image. That's one of the explanations I have for it. Now, David says, hello, Mehran, 23, male, Dallas, Texas. Hello, David. Good to see you here. And Helen Olskaya says, in line to Muhammad's question to you, Mehran. In line to MA question to you, Mehran. Okay. This is what I've heard and researched, that men from all over the world travel to specific places like Ukraine, Poland, etc. to meet future mate. Yeah, and how dumb is that? Because they're traveling for convenience. They don't necessarily want a relationship. They just want a relationship. They want a woman. Because traveling to, you're not buying something. You got to get to know that person. You got to see if you guys are hitting it off on conscious level, if you have understanding of each other's center, what makes you tick. But just traveling, I have no whatsoever opinion or problem or discussion about what nationality of woman you choose. It's all the same. A human being is human being. I don't care where you're born and what where you live. So if they go to Ukraine, Russia, or where else was it? Or Poland, great. Of course they go there because there are many beautiful women are famous to come from those countries. Ukraine, Poland. But just focusing on the aesthetics and the physical beauty of a woman is not going to ensure a good relationship. They go to these countries and hoping to find a woman who is not happy where she's living, and out of a certain motivation for more comfort and more provisions, she's willing to seek such relationships, which that doesn't tell you about the pure intentions that you have or she has. She may want it for certain reasons that is known to her, perhaps lifestyle, comfort, security, provisions, and you are there for reasons that you want to not have to have the challenge of proving yourself with the women who are actually expect differently here at your hometown, and you are banking on vulnerability, and banking on the need that some people in a different country have based on many different issues, including economics, including provisions, including whatever else. And tell me, which one of them is really being honest with the other one? None. The footing is not based on equal interactions for same reasons. If the motivation of two people for being in a relationship is not the same or similar, relationship would eventually have more rocky road than it normally has, because divisions and conflicts are always there because our consciousnesses are different, and therefore the way we perceive life is different in each one of us. So conflicts and divisions are normal part of just any relationship between two people. But this is beyond that, when the motivation of the women that are in countries that you travel to, and they know that you don't live there, you traveled for the purpose of finding a woman, and therefore that kind of a basis for relationship is not the same. You travel to find a woman she wants because of the comfort and economics. Neither one really have a chance to know about each other thoroughly, because you know about each other's needs, and you know about your need and she knows about her need, and you are accepting each other due to your own personal need, not based on compatibility or sharing a same direction in the journey or having the same motivation for being in a relationship, which is the first step towards this not working. Because the relationship is based on you, on who you are, each one of you, not based on what you need. You can never build a relationship, a true, honest, flowing, light, solid relationship based on your needs. It has to be based on who you are, what your center is like, what your consciousness is about. The communication, exchange of energy, compatibility in consciousness level. But you convince yourself, the man who's traveling to Ukraine and wherever else it is that they travel to for that particular purpose, with reservations made, arrangements made, that person is motivated by his need, and the woman, the other end, is motivated by her need, not freedom of choice here in either one of them. It's not based on who they are and how they tick. It's based on what they need. That need, after it's fulfilled, what is supporting your relationship? And if it's always going to be that need, which is not, all physical things have durations, if it's always going to be that need, it's always dishonest, is it? Can always, when the man finds his need being fulfilled in another possibility, and when the woman eventually after a few years finds her footing or finds another possibility of fulfilling whatever her need was, then what's there to hold them? There is no connection, and there is no real solid base in that relationship, so they go fulfill their needs somewhere else. So the footings are not strong in such cases. That's my but of course, if they're traveling and meet somebody in Ukraine or Poland or wherever else, and they don't necessarily they're not necessarily there on the purpose of having been arranged to meet each other for that purpose and all that, and they just meet as a visitor and they, you know, hit it off, become friends and all, that's different. That's like anywhere else, but not the way I think you're implying. Helen, I hope I was able to respond to what you were saying. Helen says, I've learned that some of the men who travel there, like Ukraine, a few times were disappointed and end up spending a lot of money. Where did it go? What happened? I lost you, Helen. Lot of money. What do you think about this scenario? Yeah, well, of course, you know, these sort of things are not always an honest arrangements either. On top of what we talked about, it could be scams, and it could be just introduction and paying money to meet with them, and none of them want to leave their country. They're as happy there. It's their own country. They're in Ukraine or they're in Poland or they're wherever it is that this is happening. I'm just using the choices that you put in here. They don't want to leave, but it's a business. They like to have this kind of a pretend that you have a chance here, and I am possibly, and then, you know, the organizers get money and all that, and that's the end of that. I mean, that's probably one of the scenarios. Not necessarily, I'm just spitballing here, but, you know, it's not out of line to think that way, of course, as you said. And so we go on to Keshav Madhav. Says, hi Mehran, great to see you. Male 26 from India. I'm seeing a girl at office from 5 to 6 months. I like her a lot. Congratulations, good. And Keshav says, she knows I am good and capable. We have had few chats, but she doesn't seem to have the same respect towards me. She responds to my text in a single word, but she never asks anything about me, but she texts only when she needs some info from me related to her work. She wanted to meet me other day only so that she could get some company till she got her cab, since her all friends had left her. Okay, so what's wrong with that? Be a man and serve her when she needs to, and don't expect any more. Just be there until, but you know, you can't expect a woman to express herself the way you express. You're a man, you're designed and conditioned in your genes to approach, to take initiative. Women have been initially through the history have been conditioned to be reserved, and they're not going to text you like you would text them, because you're running on hormones and all you're thinking about, oh, female, you know, intimacy, oh, a chance, a possibility, you know, and that's what your program is. So you get excited, you just want to talk to her all the time to keep that connection, your chance alive, thinking if you're not writing her, she's not thinking about it, if she's not thinking about you, you lose your chance and possibilities, and you want to keep that alive. And that could be the way you think, but she's not necessarily going to be responding to you, because she is, first of all, if you keep doing that, you will lose your place, because she will think you're too available anyhow. But she's not going to respond to you the way you do, and she's reserved, she's a lady, she has been conditioned that way, and she has to have that image that she has created of herself. And of course, she doesn't know how you will treat her if she becomes open with you and, you know, considers you something more than friend, and at the same time you guys working in the same company, she's thinking they might not be appropriate and what would lead to and all that so forth, but she's still communicating through things that she needs. That's her way of keeping you connected. So don't expect more from her, just offer to the level that she expects and not more, and expect and appreciate the level that you of attention that you receive, not more, and don't judge it. Just keep going and don't pressure her. Just provide enough opportunity for her. If she chooses to communicate with you, she can. Otherwise, don't expect that you want to, you know, most guys want to sign a signature on a dotted line that, oh yes, she's now mine, she's my girlfriend. Oh, work on it. She's choosing, you know. Women are not like run on their hormones necessarily. They're just, you know, they're considering many other aspects as well. So be cool about it. It's okay. And Helen says, I gave a comment to this find a mate agency in Ukraine. They replied that men are looking for a mate not because there is scarcity of women in the US, but the men's preference. Well, of course that's what they're going to be saying. That's their business, but they're no psychologists or they're no expert in that. They're saying what they're saying. But obviously there is a need for the reasons that we talked about, that men, heterosexual men, are programmed to seek women, and they seek the woman in the most convenient and easiest way, and if it becomes a difficult hunt or pursuit, they would prefer to find something more agreeable than the expectations and the challenge and the race that exists in North America, which women are programmed to expect more provisions and who can, you know, have the higher bid, but material the guy has, and there's so many suitors and so many candidates available with abilities, economical abilities, that it makes it a little bit more challenging for guys here to go for the girl that they find it's suitable for them, and the girls have become a little bit more, you know, unreasonably motivated. Therefore, it becomes a little bit tasking for a guy who's looking for just a good woman to find that in the atmosphere that we mostly seen in North America. So they choose other countries who are more down to earth and are willing to be more cooperative, or expecting less and expecting more reasonably. And that could be one motivation, but nevertheless it does not cover over the important factors that we talked about just before this discussion I started 2 minutes ago. And Lucky Moon Lucky. Lucky Moon Lucky. Are you stuttering? Is it 2 times? Lucky Moon Lucky, Lucky Moon Lucky. All right. Says Sarah, I'm your big fan. Thank you. I shouldn't have made fun of your name then. From Pakistan. Hello, dear. Says, my question is, our work no contact, what? Because everyone tells about on YouTube. I'm sorry, I don't look. He says, I mean no contact rolling breakup. Oh, no contact rule in breakup. Oh, is that what you're saying? Okay. So listen, my question is, what? Our work no contact because of it. Lucky Moon Lucky, I'm not so lucky to understand what you're saying. Please help me out. Explain a little bit more. Are you telling me that does no contact rule after breakup works? Is that what you're saying? Did I decipher it? When it's a breakup, contact or no contact, it's not about how often you contact each other or let each other forget about all the shit that was going on and now it'll all be okay if you're in no contact rule. That's nonsense. You broke up, you gotta find out why and move on. What's this no contact rule? Okay, what? No contact because you want to get everything back the way it was. The problem is not about simple things. The problem is been brewing all through it because of your conflicts and divisions in consciousness. And you just think that maybe if I stay away for a while and she forgets, and then I can maybe buy some flowers and chocolates and maybe buy gifts and then go and apologize and things will work out. Okay, yeah, maybe in some cases. But it's not rule. These rules and nonsenses are to manipulate each other rather than facing with facts and be honest about where you are in this relationship between the two consciousness levels. Is there a relationship between your consciousnesses? Or is it just basically based on material and things you do and ha-ha-has and lovey-doveys and here you go and there you go and spend money here and have fun here and you really don't know each other, have no real relationship established? And then you want to try to go with no contact rule and see if it works to get back together and then do the same kind of lifestyle and routine and then again get back to the same position. It's always going to be a vicious cycle. So I hope I answered your question, although I didn't quite, I'm not sure if I did, and understood it properly, but I hope I did. And H. Metal Mosh says, Jeremy, Oregon, 21 male. Hello, Oregon, my school city. That's where I went to school. Not, I mean, in Oregon, but in Portland. Actually, Lake Oswego. Yeah, Lewis and Clark. You probably know where that is, Jeremy, yeah? Helen Olskaya say, if you're leaving me, can I come to who? Where am I leaving? Elaborate. Okay, Joshua says, hey, Joshua, male 23. And where, Joshua? You forgot to tell me where you're tuning in from. It's three things. Gender, age, where you're calling in from, where you're tuning in from. Say, Joshua, male 23, how are you today? Thank you very much, dear. Appreciate it. And Helen says, I'm not dumping you, Mehran. Okay. You're a treasure to the world. ESP to your family. Love ESP too. Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. And right back at you. Lots of love from here. I appreciate your kind words and your attention. Okay. Joshua says, Joshua, male 23. Hey, Mehran. It's been over a month since she left. I've been, oops, jumped here. I've been working out, going college, going to my sisters in the countryside, yet I still feel this empty void and heartbroken. Will it ease? It will ease, but this is normal. Of course you will feel it. You're a human being. You have feelings, especially at that age. A young age, and the woman is all through our lives, is so important to us, especially when we're so young. It makes us feel amazing, makes us feel somebody, a woman who's so important in this world. We've been learned and conditioned to see and approve of it and believe it, that they're so important in all aspects of our life. Our mothers were women, our teachers were women, everything we learned from our teachers mostly were women. And the whole idea of decency was coming from the idea of women are decent. So the whole idea of behaving properly was in front of women. So women are very important to us, and especially make us feel the man that we always wish to be by the touch of the woman, attention of the woman, energy of the woman, interaction with the woman. So it's very important, and you're not going to be forgetting her so that soon, and that's okay. That's normal. That's the way it should be. You're not a beast, you're not an idiot or unappreciative. You have feelings and emotions, and you liked her or loved her or whatever it was that you thought the emotion was with you and her. So naturally, you should remember it. Don't try to cover it up, or, you know, it's okay. It's part of your life. But just understand, it was what it was. It was beautiful, and I enjoyed it. It was nourishing. But now it's over. It's like you had a cherry. What do? You had a cherry, you ate it, it was delicious, and you throw the seed out and you enjoyed it. Oh, wow, wonderful. And it finished. Now, what are you going to do? Tomorrow, you're going to say, oh, that cherry was so good. Well, that's what you're going to say. Yeah, but that is the end of it. But are you going to say, oh, the cherry was good. Where's the cherry? I want the cherry. Oh, I can't live without the cherry. Where's the cherry? Well, there will be other cherries, but you can't have it every day. And this particular things too. Relationship, you think about it, oh, she was so nice. Oh, yes, because you're thinking about the nice part of it. But like the cherry, also think about when you actually make a mistake and bite on the seed on the cherry. So, oh, shit, you got to get that out. So there are also seeds in the cherry that you should be focusing on. That's why the cherry wasn't all good idea to have so much of it in this case. Yeah. So your relationship broke up. You think about her. So, oh, it was so nice. That's the sweet part of the cherry. But you also quickly got to bring to your attention, to your memory, what things naturally you won't think when you think about your ex, which is the stuff that were going wrong, the stuff that was not right, why things went wrong, why things were not right, the things that were not palatable. You should bring that into memory too while you're thinking about the cherry. Bring the biting on the seed as well. So you'll say, okay, okay, the cherry was nice, but that's okay that I don't have it right now. I will find another cherry, and this time I make sure I take the seed out or not bite on it. Same thing. You think about her, you say, oh, it's lovely. Yeah, but then there was these problems as well. So bring that to the bunch of the memory, so you'll create a balance rather than just creating desire. Because as you know, you desired her for a certain reason. In other videos, we discussed how desire is created, the prerequisite steps that needs for desire to be born. And in your memory, when you think about your ex, all those prerequisites for desire to take shape is in existence in your memory as well. So when you think about the lovey-dovey scenes with her, or the good memories you have with her, the prerequisites memory steps of the desire residing in your memory will also show themselves, become active, and makes you think that all those prerequisites are happening again right now, which creates the desire, refreshes it, and you think, oh, I want her. No, you don't want her. You just had another experience of feeling that the prerequisite for desire to be born is present and is refreshed because it was in your memory, not that they're happening again. All those prerequisites are not in actuality happening again for you to desire her. They're in your memory, and you're having a perception of it, remembering of it, and because they're emotionally packed in those memories, your emotion doesn't understand time. And then you feel that all those prerequisites for desire to take place are happening again now because the emotion of it you feel because the file was in the memory, the events, the steps were in the memory. So when you feel the emotions, you think the desire is now refreshed. And then you think, oh, I miss her, I want her. But bring balance to it by thinking about the seed, by thinking about the problems, and thinking about that, well, it was delicious, but it's finished, and it was nutritious, and I enjoyed it. Now I go on and use that experience to create another relationship with somebody else whenever that opportunity arises. Now tell me that you get all these sort of discussions in other channels, guys. So answer me this. Why is it that those channels that you tell me they're non-helpful have 800, 600, 1,000 subscribers, and we are hovering over 16. So, meaning, please do support the channel by sharing it on your social media, going on my site, hopefully the new site, and make an appointment with me to discover and explore the challenges that you're facing with together and get you moving on to bigger and better things. And click on the books and read the sample chapter and the table of contents and acquire the books, especially the one in the form of ebooks, which, you know, the books are like $100 or $80. They're expensive, shipping included. I'll sign them and write a note for you and send it to you. But I've turned them into ebooks, and the same book is like $7, $8, $9. Same book, $100, $80 is like $7, $8, $9, depending on which you choose. So go on my site and click on the ebooks and acquire the ebooks. And you know, if you buy all 3 ebooks, it's what, 18 bucks? And just Breakup Pain Handbook is 600 pages. Me, My Psyche, and I is 360 pages. Transient Thoughts and Me, which are thoughts that appear in your mind and you never wanted them to be there. You didn't invite them. You wonder what they are, why they're there, how do they appear, how to manage them, what to do with them. That's about, I don't know, something like 200 pages. And you can buy all 3 of them for $18. So that's a good thing to have on your library, to read it at your leisure time. And at the same time, and what is it, price of, you know, 2-3 cups of coffee. And at the same time, you'll help the channel, and then we'll get a little bit more finances, and at the same time we will be able to reach more people and do advertise more and so on, and be of make some difference and more difference. So having plugged that, let's go on to Risha. Says, hello sir, your live chatting program is excellent. I pray that all needy persons will get your advice. You helped me yesterday through your answer. Thank you so much. I'm delighted, Risha. I appreciate your kindness. Risha says, I'm 31, female, Indian. I'm a beautiful, intelligent, kind person. That's what I like to hear. A woman call herself beautiful, intelligent, and that's the confidence that I want to see. I love my fiancé initially. I loved my fiancé initially, she says. He was good in behavior, but then started criticizing, yelling me, and is made distance with me. I broke up, all right? But did not understand why he behaved so much bad to me. Well, I can't be sure because I don't know him and I don't know you and I don't know what really went on. But sometimes when men become a little bit insecure, and especially as you said, you're physically beautiful and you're intelligent and you're kind, what else a man would want? But when they feel that they are possibly insecure or you're so good and they feel like, you know, maybe you leave them or something, they unfortunately, instead of being more attentive and kind and create a bond on consciousness level and build something together, focus on that, instead they become arrogant and they want to make it look like you're not good enough, you're not beautiful enough, so you won't be so confident of yourself, and you will feel you're not whole, and out of that way of creating that image of you in your own mind, they try to control the situation. They try to establish their leadership or their dominance in order to turn you into just a subordinate rather than a partner. And these are the flaws that you would want to see while you're going through a courting period, and which is, instead of being sad about it, you should be elated that, hey, that person who was good at certain time, maybe it had a duration and it wasn't something he could sustain all through the relationship as a fair and balanced person towards me. And good thing I found that out now, before you married him. That's how you should be thinking, and to bring happiness to yourself that, I'm blessed for this happening, for finding it out now rather than later, which could have been late, and you would be totally in a predicament that you never thought you would have wanted to be, in a predicament that you never thought you should be in. Okay, so having said that, maybe that would make sense a little bit to you. And Helen Olskaya sends me lots of pictures with sticking their tongue out to me. I think, or maybe, are these kind faces? Are they kisses or they're crying? I'm confused. And that's where I am, right? I can't read all these pictures because they're not so clear. What is this? Eyes are closed, there's a tear, and then there's a tongue out. Or is it? Or it's just the lips? Okay, whatever it is, I appreciate it. Hooper502 says, male 26, Philadelphia. I'm still in love with my ex. No chance of getting back together. Why are you in love with your ex if you guys are not together? What do you think love is? How can you say you're in love with her if you're not together? If a woman doesn't want you, how can you be in love with her? That's lust. That's not love. And to be in lust with a woman is very easy. You're programmed, if you're a heterosexual male, you're programmed, you're a gene to love woman, to want woman, to desire woman, to lust after woman. And so that's what you're feeling. But you think it's love. It's probably the way we are accustomed to say that we really desire that woman. But not every one of these words means the same as the real love. The love happens when you are spending time with each other over the time, over the months and years, and see how you interact with each other, how unselfish you are, how supportive you are, how you interact with the world, what you're built as, and how you're put together, and how you become a support in that relationship. And then you begin to establish or create or feel love for each other. You ask yourself, do I love her, or do I love what she does for me? Does she love you, or she loves what you do for her? There's two different things. They say, making love. What do you mean making love? You can't be making love. You're having sex. It's not making love. It's just maybe a different word to put at it. But when you say making love, you can't make love. Love is created on consciousness level. That's what you feel, that you have no explanation for that, what you feel. And that's different than the feeling of lust and intimacy and, sexuality. That's not love. That's sex. That's lust. Now, go deeper in finding the love that you're talking about. That takes time. It's a different devotion, different. There's need to be a test ground for seeing, is that love or not. Not every sexual urge you get that means, oh, I love her. This is what we do. We see a beautiful girl, oh, I'm in love. Well, how can you be? How can you love something that you do not know? And her is not how she looks like. Her is how she is here. Who she is here. And unless you know that, you don't know her. If you don't know her, you can't love her. So what is it that you so easily say, I still love her? You don't love her. How can you love some girl that doesn't want to be with you? Why would you? So let's go to Lucky says, yes, sir. And okay, good. Then I got it right. Joshua says, Ireland. Oh, okay. Thank you, Joshua. Lucky moon, lucky. Is a tongue twist. I gotta keep saying it until I make a mistake. Says, thank you, sir, for your talking about my question. But, sir, my English is weak. I know. Don't worry about it. I'm a Pathan girl from KPK, Pakistan. Welcome, dear. I'm glad that you're here, and thank you for being here. I appreciate you participating in this, and I hope I did answer your question. And that is important for us to know. Like, if I knew you were a girl, maybe it would help me a little bit more, and where you come from. Of course, you said that. And the age would be also interesting to know, and all that, so forth. So anyhow, thank you. And she says, sir, when you laughing on my name, Lucky Moon Lucky, I became very happy. before it, I thinking, why sir not laughing today? Okay, thank you. I try to laugh more, but I'm laughing all the time. As long as you guys don't laugh at me, that's the question. Me laughing at myself, that's all right. When you give answer me, you started with laughing. Thank you, sir. You're quite welcome, dear. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate your time. Joshua says, amazing advice. Thank you, Mehran. So I'm guessing being bothered by thoughts of her out with other guys and stuff is, of course it is. There is no heterosexual male who is not bothered by the thought of his ex being with some other guy, going out, doing things, or having sex and all that. We're all like that. We're still cavemen, have caveman mentality, and that's what makes us be who we are, heterosexual male. That's what we feel. That's what we are. We are protective of our women, and even the thought of it. If they are not with us, we're still concerned. That's just the way it is, and that's the way it should be, because that's the way it is. And Chigbungus says, I like you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But I would appreciate if you also let me know if you are male, female, whatever your gender is, how old you are, and where you are watching this program. Did you guys hear? We have a program here now. Purya says, just wanting to say thank you, dear Mehran. I lost my father yesterday. Yes, I remember we talked about it, Purya. And I was going to kill myself as well. Well, I'm delighted that you were listening carefully about the wishes of your father, which you felt it in your heart. And I guess the words we spoke sat on your heart. Purya says, you prevented it and motivated me. To be in charge of my mother and younger sister. Yes, that is your role. That is why you're here. Father completed the duration of his stay in this form on this earth. You were given birth to carry on his duties and make your mark on the advancement of the life of your mother, sister, yourself, and others that you will be touching. And you know that. And I'm glad that it's clear, crystal clear for you. Did you receive my email, Purya? Check your junk mail if you haven't. Glad to see you here, Purya. Lucky Moon Lucky says, sir, now my question is how I learn English and my age 29. Thank you. Well, you're learning English. I understood you. So every little bit helps. How you learn English is bit by bit. Don't try to learn English all at the same time. Just like you eat food. You don't put the whole plate in your mouth. Just take a piece. Think about it. Just like if you want to tell how this food was made. Take a little bit. What is this? Green pea or carrots? Maybe chicken tandoori? Or curry, maybe? So you think about it, analyze it. Same thing. When you hear an English word, try to see how is it used? how is it pronounced, where was it used, in what sentence, in what criteria, what it's supposed to mean, what pictures were along with it, what scene it was used. If you're watching a movie, analyze it that way and focus on how it was pronounced, how it was said, how it was used, and all that little by little will be enjoyable. Don't rush into it. And of course, you know, books and things like that as well. All right. Purya says, I've never been into religion and I always wondered what would have after death, whether the dead person can see us, understand it or not. Once my cartoon character, Rick from Rick and Morty series, said, there is no afterlife and everything would be cold and dark. Well, we don't know what's after death as far as this cartoon character whatnot says, so no sense dwelling on it. Focus on here. Your job is here. Focus on the brightness of life. Use it to accomplish and make a difference on this life for you and everybody else on this earth. That is what we are facing. We will know what's out there when the time comes. Not now. Now, Joshua says, oh, you're talking to Purya. Good. Chris Adams says, hey Mehran, hey Chris, 26 Mail UK, hope you're well, he says. Thanks for fixing the site. Look forward to reading the books. Your content helps a lot. Do you think one should date after a breakup or leave time for healing? It depends what you intend to achieve, to gain from that date. If you just go on a date to socialize, that's great. What's wrong with it? But if you want to go there to replace the ex and just make it go further, and then that'll bring anxiety and rush and all that. It doesn't make it pleasant. At the same time, you're not ready for it. You're still not even seeing the girl that you're on date with. You're just looking at her and thinking about her, which is really terrible. You're perceiving rather than being with the now, with the present moment, and with the actuality of life, based on your ability to change the interaction as it's happening. Instead, you're just looking at it and thinking about what's in your memory, which is the past, and the past is dead, and therefore your date is really a interaction with a dead event, non-existent event. That's not a date. So go in there with a different mentality of socializing and learning about women and just feeling her kindness, softness in character, her touch of energy. Just that will give you that boost of confidence and boost of feeling normal as you always had it before you broke up or before you met your ex. And then little by little you will see there's so many wonderful women out there, just as beautiful, if not more, wise, intelligent, fun. And then eventually you begin not to see the ex as an anomaly. Oh, that was the only one. There will be no other. No, nonsense, bullshit. You will see so many wonderful women out there because their beauty is enhanced by the compatibility between your consciousnesses. And that's what you're looking for. That's why you're going on date. You're not going on date just get them to bed. You're going on date to socialize, to get to know each other, bond on consciousness level, exchange energy and information and experiences of life, read and listen to each other's story. That's the good beginning. So, depends on what your motivation is for that date. Purya, did you receive the email? Oh, here it is. So, dear Mehran, unfortunately, I haven't received any emails yet. Really? It was sent to you yesterday. My email is mehran@mindthatseekstruth.com, and there's an attachment to it that I think it would, it would be something that you wanted to get from my site, but you couldn't because you're from Iran and you couldn't connect, and they wouldn't accept things. So check it out. Let me know when you got it. All right, and Lucky Moon, Lucky Sis, thank you a lot, sir. Thanks. You're welcome, dear. You're welcome. Muhammad says, Dear Mehran, you keep criticizing the caveman mentality. Not really. I didn't criticize them. I said we still have that. And that's no criticism. It's just saying that we do have them. And you read between lines, you will see I'm just saying the facts, how things are. And he says, I would be thankful if you can give us a word on how to get rid of this mentality. Not just when see X with someone else, but in general. No, that wasn't a criticism of the caveman mentality. That was just saying how we are, which means it's normal. That's what we feel. Now, knowing that's how we feel, it tells you that you're not supposed to act on it or react to it. It's just the way it is. You're not supposed to think, oh, I got to do something about it. Now that I feel this way, I got to, I don't know, go and tell her not to do or this. No, nothing. It just means understand that this is why. This is a normal reaction, not an abnormal reaction, not an anomaly, not something that, oh, you should alter it. You make sure it doesn't happen. You don't think, oh, that's bad. That's what it is, and that's what you feel. And that feeling is normal because you are still carrying that caveman genes. And that's why we are who we are. And that's good. We are men, and we got to have that feeling, emotions, and feel the way you feel about your woman or your ex. But by knowing that, you'll understand this is normal and you let it be, not necessarily be bothered by it or want to react to it or want to do something about it or confront anybody. No, just know why it's there. It's not abnormal. It's not a signal to you to go and do something about it. It's just the way it is. That's what I mean. That's what we are, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just trying to tell you, because this is the way you are, this is the way you normally should feel and will feel, then there's nothing else needed to be done. There's no need to react to it, to talk to her or confront her or whatever, or be worried about it or be bothered about it. That's what it is. Accept it. You feel this way and she's doing that, and that's her right. She has all the right to do whatever the hell it is that she wants to do. That she's another human being. She's taking care of number one, which is herself, and she's continuing with her life. That's fine. And you will feel terrible about it, but that's normal too. That's what we are. But that's the end of it. And you now understand that it's normal to feel that way, and it's normal for her to do whatever she's doing, and you move on and create and build a new relationship for yourself, which at that point the caveman would not give a shit anymore, and it's all done. Knowing that this is normal, then it will help you not to give a damn, not to give a shit, and not focus on it, and just say, oh, that's what it is, that's how it is, and you move on as well. That's what I meant. Kevin male, 26, Germany, Guten Tag, says, my girlfriend broke up with me and he says broke up with me and she stays in our flat. Ouch. My problem is I did anything to make her feel comfortable, although she enjoys her life, and every time when she contacts me, she treats me not nicely. What have I done to her? It was her decision to break up. Well, if you guys have broken up, it is acceptable and understandable to advise her that she should find a new accommodation as conveniently as possible, because it is not healthy for you to be living with her or she be staying with you while she has a separate life of because soon enough she is going to have some dates and you know, relationship, and that's not something you should be involved in. So if you guys have broken up and she's not treating you nice, you continue being a gentleman and discuss with her that listen dear, we are no longer together, and obviously you're not reciprocating my proper behavior and treatment of you with respect. So I think it would be just natural and normal for you to find a new accommodation so you can live the way you like to live and be free, and at the same time I would not have to be subjected to your rather angry disposition or negative reciprocation or interaction with me. And I think we both deserve to be relaxed and focused on our lives and build a new life and relationship with somebody else when the time comes. And so discuss it and make it clear for her. There's no reason for you to now. So Puriya says, Chris, Adam, thank you, sir. I'm delighted to see people can understand what I've been through. I'm going to talk to my doctor about psychedelic and also ask Mehran's opinion about it. Psychedelic, why should you use psychedelic drugs? Why should you use any drugs? For what? I don't understand. What did you say, Chris? Chris is Puriya. Psychedelics can give answers to those questions and help with post-traumatic syndrome and depression, but I'm not condoning drug use. Just saying could help a lot, bro. Helped with loss of my dad. No, I definitely do not advise at any circumstance to use any drug or psychedelic drugs of any kind for dealing with any problem, unless your doctor has prescribed a certain medication for a certain condition that is supported by evidence of the result of a certain blood test and so on, that your doctors and only your doctors can prescribe that. Under no circumstances, guys, under no circumstances, believe, Chris, you, Puriya, or anybody else, that any kind of drug would be a solution to you. What a drug can do and does, it just takes you out of the position of being in control and dealing logically with a situation you're facing in life, and rendering you incapable of proper logic, and creating illusory situations which will be a baseless and a very shallow base to build anything and any opinion on, and it's escape of some kind and not a true way of dealing with the problem or a challenge that is facing you in life. So I suggest never use any psychedelic drug or any kind of drug for the purpose of dealing with anything, any challenge that you face in life, including drinking alcohol or anything like that. Just talk to your doctors and go from there, guys. Please accept this from me. You got to be pure, strong, and you may think that it's helping you somewhere, but while it's trying to help you, so to speak, if it does, which I doubt it, it is also sticking its claws into you and getting you to be addicted one way or another, even as minute as you might think, or you say, oh, I'm in control and all that, but it has effects. So please do not allow anything to control you, to become addicted to anything. I don't care what it is, drugs or anything else, any activity events. Nothing should be addictive to you. You should not be addictive to anything, or anything has a chance to control you. That's my opinion. Yes, Chris, yes. Yeah, it can easily be used as escape. Good, I'm glad that you are wise to that as well. And let's see, what else do we have here? We have Kevin says, sorry for the misunderstanding. She lives in our flat while I cannot stay because there's so, I moved out. Because I cannot stay there from a mental perspective. Thanks for your advice, sir. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was good. You move on and you moved out, and that's what you should do. And look, she's not the last girl on earth, I assure you, and you will find many others. So don't worry. It's just a temporary thing that we all go through when we break up. But then again, the sun will come out and we'll feel good. Just be busy and focus on your life. And as you go through life, you will have different confidence level. Things will change. You go through transformations and new things happen in life, new hope and new wonderful things that you'll be faced with. And you will see so many other options and opportunities will present themselves in time. So, having said that, looks like we hit all the questions and we are right where we wanted to be at this hour, which is 2:18 Vancouver time. I thank you very much for giving me your time, guys, to spend with me for a bit of time here and there. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did and got something out of it. I love you all, and again, hope to talk to you soon, perhaps next Friday sometime. I wish you have a good weekend. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.